Since you've been listening to us for a while, and we can feel the clarity of who you are, we're going to make this opening short. This short, in fact. And we're going to open this conversation to the things that you really want to talk about. We're going to remind you of this one really important thing. And that is, everything that you speak about, while you are speaking about it, is practicing a vibration of it. And sometimes in the expressing of a problem or a question or an issue, you're actually practicing the vibration of the absence of what you want. Because the problem is a different vibration than the solution. The question is a different vibration than the answer. Do you believe that it's possible to move from this really not feeling good disc to this really good feeling disc easily? Do you believe that if you are on the disc that feels like hope, that it would be a fairly simple thing for you to move into an even higher vibration? Do you believe that the source within you is holding consistently that vibration and is calling you to it? Do you believe if you weren't doing that thing you're doing, that it would easily call you to it? Do you believe that negative emotion is your indicator that you're doing that thing you do? Do you believe that in the middle of recognizing that you've got negative emotion, that you can just stop it right then? Because there's momentum. Is momentum good or bad? Momentum is really good when you're on that high-flying disc and really not so good when you're on that low-flying disc. Is law of attraction good or bad? Or just consistent across the board? Do you believe that you have easier access to this high-flying disc when you are speaking generally or specifically? So if you're feeling really bad about something, and you begin speaking in really general terms, does the momentum speed or slow? Now, we'll say it again. You're feeling really bad about something. You've got some negative momentum going. If you become more general in your discussion, does the momentum speed or slow? You're so smart. If you are on a really high-flying, good-feeling disc, and you become more and more specific, does that speed the momentum or slow it? Do you want to speed good feeling momentum? Do you want to slow not good feeling momentum? The most significant thing that we want you to hear, and you'll hear it easily, you know it, but in this context you'll hear it even more as this question is active. When you have that nagging discomfort, you've just got to know, especially in the context of what we were just saying, that what that means is you have, by virtue of what you're focused upon, activated a vibration that is in disagreement with the source within you. So we want to say to you that every time for the rest of your life that you focus upon something that you don't want, and there are few things that you don't want more than you don't want that. When something really, really matters to you and you focus upon the opposite of it, you're going to feel far more than a nagging feeling. You know what that nagging is? It's us saying, you're not letting us in. In other words, it's us nagging you. You're in a vibrational place which you have the free will to be in. You have the right to focus upon the exact opposite of each and everything in the world you want. So as you get that in the moment confirmation that all is well, then that's a feeling response in response to the manifestation that you want. And so to ask anyone to give you reassurance is like asking for a manifestation to give you the reason to feel good, and it's backwards. Being in the vortex and aligning with the vortex is the solution that you are always looking for. Period. It is the solution that you're always looking for. And you have the ability to go there now. So, what do you think it is? that makes it feel compelling to poke around at that problem in a sort of explanatory manner. See this? I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I really don't like it. It's not enough to just say, no thanks. No, thank you. I'm not the only one who doesn't like it. We hear you say. Nobody really likes that. We shouldn't have to put up with it. We just shouldn't. I'm going to get online. I'll bet there's others feel the same way. Yep. It's a movement. I'm going to join the war against. If you think of this realm that you live in and this realm that we live in as a vibrational realm rather than a physical manifested realm, it helps you to understand this more clearly. And there's plenty in your physical world that you accept as being vibrational. You can't set your radio dial on 6:30 a.m. and hear what's being broadcast on 98.7 FM. The frequencies have to line up. And the frequency of your vortex is a very high, pure, non-resistant frequency. And if your frequency is set on trouble, then even though the vortex is calling you, eternally, always will, as long as that resistance is active within you, you can't go. Now, when you croak, you'll withdraw your attention from this time-space reality, and your resistance won't be active anymore, and the vortex will take you in, and you will experience all of that explosive expansion that you've been accumulating over all of this time. We just don't think you should have to croak to go to the vortex. We think that you should be able to use your ability to focus in a way that causes you to allow yourself to be more of that which you are. Because nothing is more delicious than to be focused in your physical body and to be tuned in, tapped in, turned on to the frequency of who you really are, and having the fullness of all of that blowing through you. So that when you're talking with your grandchildren, you're who you really are. You're loving them unconditionally and seeing their value and talent, you see. Sometimes over the years, Esther has said, as she's standing in a place not feeling so good, and as she's been listening to us long enough to know that the worse she feels, the better we feel. What's up with that? If you were really a non-physical entity that was worth its salt, you'd have empathy for me and you'd come over here and comfort me. And we say, that's the thing that you got to understand and accept and come to adore about your inner being. Your inner being takes the expansion and holds that place marker for you so that you can come into vibrational frequency with it. That's what guidance system is. Esther would say from time to time, Abraham, I think you should come over here and complain with me because you know I'm right. You know I'm justified in this complaint. And we say to Esther, we're not coming. Come over here. No, you come over here. Come over here. No, you come over here. And of course, through the years, she's discovered we never come. So what begins to happen is that you come to a gathering like this and you listen to us, and in many cases, you trust us. We have a good reputation for telling you what's really going on vibrationally, and many people are benefiting and speaking about how much better their lives are. But really, friends, when it comes right down to it, words don't teach, and that's all we've got for you. Confirming words about what you are doing in terms of deliberate creation. And we can tell you all day, every day, who you are, that you were source energy, that you came forth into this physical experience, that the larger part of you remains non-physical, while this part of you that's in your personality that has come forth into this physical body. And as you explore and know what you don't want, you launch these rockets of desire, and the source within you holds to those rockets and holds steady the light, calling you eternally toward vibrational alignment with who you are. And when you move in the direction of it, you feel wonderful. And when you hold out and don't move, you don't feel so good. In other words, we're giving this to you all day, every day. But until you actually deliberately conjure a thought, deliberately go general from specifically negative, and feel the relief of it, and then Witness with your own experience the manifestational difference between the specific negative that you were feeling and the general negative that you're feeling, until you've convinced yourself that a general feeling of negativity nets different vibrational manifestations around you. And then because you're on a roll, you go generally positive, and then you witness the improvement in what happens not tomorrow, not theoretically, not conceptually, not someday, not to somebody else, but to you right away. To you right away. To you right away. You'll begin to notice that everyone and everything around you is responding to the vibrational frequency that you are outputting. Friends, life is supposed to be fun. And you're not ever going to get it done. And you can't get it wrong. And if you will begin to embrace those contrasting moments as part of the path along your trail to the things that you are really wanting, then life will be sweet, 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 sweet for you the majority of the time. And when it's a little sour, it's still on track. That's really what we want you to hear from us. Be easy about it and meditate if you feel like it. But most of all, make a decision that nothing is more important than that you feel good, and pay attention to the way you feel. And when you feel less than wonderful, do anything and everything you can think of doing, which usually just means change the pace from whatever. So if you're in the middle of a conversation that is taking you down, smile and end it. If you are sitting in your body and it is tired and stiff, get up and move around. In other words, don't allow yourself to continue in the direction of what does not feel good. Use your guidance system in the way it is intended and shift directions. And so in the same way that if you've been sitting too long, you want to get up and stretch, sometimes you are involved in a thought that is not serving you, and you would be well to change the direction of the thought. That's where this going general will serve you. Sometimes people aren't so eager to express their appreciation for contrast, but it's only always because they haven't figured out how to focus, or they haven't figured out what the criteria for focusing is. If there's just a lot of variety and you're just giving all of your attention, or wanted and unwanted your attention, then you've got a sort of sloppy focus going on, which means you've got a sort of sloppy point of attraction going on. And when you are not focused deliberately, or when you're creating by default, then you get some of what you want and some of what you don't want. And there's no real downside to that, because in that process you get more and more clear about what you do want. But if the clarity about what you do want is coming on stronger and stronger, but your ability to focus on what you want is not becoming more practiced, then you just get a bigger life, but it's not a comfortable life. It gets bigger. There's a lot more variety. You can parlay your life into really wonderful things. We've been saying to you for a while, when you know what you don't want, you know what you do want, and there's a bounce in that, because when you know what you don't want, a rocket of desire shoots out of you. And so knowing what you do want is predicated in part upon knowing about what you don't want. We just don't want you to make a life career out of knowing what you don't want. We want you to get more oriented toward knowing what you do want and speaking more about what you do want, and therefore practicing more of the vibration of what you do want, and therefore holding a more consistent vibrational point of attraction about what you do want, and therefore setting a vibrational grid that aligns with the core grid. We'll talk about grids all through this day, because we want you to begin to consciously acknowledge your point of attraction. And when you go in the direction of that which is inspired from within, it is our promise that you are about to rendezvous with something that you have been looking for. And when that happens, the thing that we want you to say to yourself is this: I received an impulse. I trusted it, and it paid off. Play that game for a week, and you will be free of resistance forevermore. There is great love here for you. And as always, we remain in your vortex.